Let's talk about how to obtain data. There are two main ways to obtain data. One is through observations. The second one is through experimentation. Now, through observation, you just gather data that already existed within in your organization. So this is really cheap to access and is widely available. Now, as you recall from a previous video, data that is just there, that you just observe, may have, for instance, latency issues. So this is something that you have to keep in mind when you are gathering this information. Then there is one important caveat that you have when you gather data from, that is being observed, which is that it mainly allows you to make correlations. So if you have one effect, you can basically only say what happened at the same time, and you can just establish a correlation between the two events. Now, correlations might be useful, but it's important to recall that correlation doesn't imply causation. The other way to gather information is through experimentation. So you design experiments, and then through those experiments, you actually can determine the relationship between two variables. This is great because now you can actually determine causation. So you are really sure what is happening. However, there might be social implications, reputational implications, especially if the subjects of the experiment are not voluntarily running the experiment. If you are just like some social media companies have happened in the past, running experiments on their user base, then this might have a really undesirable impact on your reputation and on the financial bottom line at the end. To step back and recap, there are two main ways to gather information. One could be through observation, the other one through experimentation. Observational data allows you to fundamentally create relationships between the variables. In experiments, you can actually find causation relationships between the variables that you are looking at. However, you have to keep in mind what are the ethical and perhaps even economical impacts of choosing the two different kinds of model of gathering data.